The last king of Carthage watched his empire burn and wondered why the gods had forsaken him. As he fell to his knees, the Romans poured into his city, pillaging everything in their path. And so the great conqueror Hannibal Barca, who once terrorized Rome itself, became nothing but a sad memory. But that's not the end of our story, because today we will tell you the story of how the forgotten empire of Carthage once ruled the Mediterranean. Welcome to our channel, where we bring you the greatest stories from human history. Join us as we take you on an incredible journey through time, exploring the myths and legends of our past. Today, get ready to be amazed by the tale of the mighty Carthaginians, one of history's most formidable empires. So sit back, relax, and let us transport you to a world of adventure and intrigue. Carthage was situated on the northern coast of Africa, a small trading colony initially established by the Phoenicians. At its peak, it was the dominant power in the western Mediterranean, controlling vast territories in North Africa, Spain, and Sicily. The economy of Carthage flourished due to its monopoly on trade in the region, generating immense wealth that funded a powerful military machine. This economic strength allowed them to establish a navy that dominated the seas, projecting their power far beyond their borders. Their society was a melting pot of different cultures, with people from all over the Mediterranean trading and interacting in their cities. However, it was their military prowess that truly set them apart. The Carthaginians were master tacticians, and their army was a force to be reckoned with, employing innovative strategies and utilizing diverse troops from various regions under their control. Their most famous general, Hannibal Barca, became a legend by crossing the Alps with elephants and challenging Rome itself. Yet despite their many accomplishments, the Carthaginians ultimately faced a devastating defeat at the hands of Rome, leading to the destruction of their empire. In this gripping tale, we will explore the rise and fall of Carthage, uncovering the secrets of their success and the factors that led to their demise. In the midst of a desert landscape, amidst rolling sand dunes and crumbling ruins, a lone warrior stands silhouetted against the setting sun. His weathered face and calloused hands tell tales of countless battles fought and victories won. His name is Hannibal Barca, and he is the greatest general of the Carthaginian Empire. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the battlefield, Hannibal surveys the scene before him with a mixture of pride and melancholy. Behind him stands the recently constructed capital of Carthage, a testament to his people's resilience and determination in the face of adversity. But the victory he achieved here has come at a great cost. Throughout his life, Hannibal has waged relentless wars against the mighty Roman Republic, a seemingly endless struggle to defend his homeland from the relentless advance of Rome's legions. He has led his armies to triumph after triumph, defeating the Romans in open battle and humiliating them in cunning stratagems. Yet even as he basks in the glow of his latest victory, he knows that the war is far from over. For Rome is a stubborn foe, quick to forgive and slow to forget, and Hannibal knows that the Romans will be back, eager for revenge and determined to crush Carthage once and for all. With a heavy heart, Hannibal turns away from the battlefield and begins the long journey back to Carthage. He is weary, both in body and in spirit, and he longs for peace. But he knows that peace is a luxury he can no longer afford. For the fate of Carthage, the city he loves more than anything else in the world, hangs in the balance. As the weary Carthaginian soldiers make their way home, they are haunted by the ghosts of their fallen comrades. The desert winds whisper tales of bravery and sacrifice, of lives cut short and dreams left unrealized. Among them is Hasdrubal, Hannibal's younger brother, who fell in battle, his life force extinguished like a flame, snuffed out by the desert wind. The sight of his lifeless form, broken and still, is a grim reminder of the cost of war. Despite the tragedy that surrounds him, Hannibal presses on, his determination to protect his homeland unwavering. He knows that the fate of Carthage rests on his shoulders, and he will not falter. As the weary soldiers finally approach the gates of Carthage, they are greeted by the sight of a city under siege. The once proud walls of Carthage are now scarred and battered, a testament to the relentless attacks of the Roman war machine. But despite the danger, the soldiers press on, eager to defend their homes and loved ones from the invaders. The people of Carthage, once proud and defiant, are now on the brink of despair. The relentless attacks of the Romans have taken a heavy toll, and many are beginning to lose hope. But Hannibal's return gives them a much-needed boost. His mere presence is a source of inspiration, a reminder that they are not alone in their struggle. With the arrival of Hannibal and his troops, the people of Carthage find renewed strength to resist the Roman invasion. They rallied together, determined to defend their city and protect their way of life. The siege of Carthage rages on, and the people hunker down in their homes, desperately clinging to hope. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, the situation becomes increasingly dire. Food and supplies dwindle, and the people grow weaker with each passing day. But still they hold on, refusing to surrender to the Roman invaders. It is during these dark days that Hannibal's leadership shines bright. He inspires his people to keep fighting, reminding them of the glory of Carthage and the importance of never giving up. He organizes the defense of the city, making sure that every citizen is doing their part to contribute to the war effort. But even Hannibal knows that the situation is desperate. He has done everything he can to defend Carthage, but the odds are simply too much against them. As the final days of the siege drag on, Hannibal makes a fateful decision. He will sacrifice himself to buy his people a chance at freedom. With a heavy heart, he says goodbye to his family and loved ones, knowing that he may never see them again. He then gathers his remaining troops and makes a final stand against the Roman invaders. As the fighting intensifies, Hannibal leads the charge, his sword flashing in the sunlight as he cuts down the enemy. But it is a losing battle. The Romans are too strong, and soon Hannibal is wounded and surrounded. But as the Romans close in for the kill, Hannibal refuses to surrender. Instead, he takes his own life, dying a hero's death on the battlefield. As Hannibal falls, a hush falls over the city. The people of Carthage know that their greatest champion has fallen, and they mourn his loss deeply. But Hannibal's sacrifice has paid off. The Romans, realizing that they have defeated a true warrior, show mercy on the citizens of Carthage. They allow them to leave the city with their lives and possessions, ending the siege of Carthage. And so the great empire of Carthage, once a dominant force in the Mediterranean, is brought low, its people scattered and its legacy in ruins. But even in defeat, the story of Hannibal Barca lives on, a reminder of the courage and determination of one man's fight to defend his homeland. As the Romans march into the ruined city of Carthage, they are met with a scene of utter devastation. The once proud capital of the Carthaginian Empire is now a shell of its former self. The streets are littered with the corpses of men, women, and children who have perished during the siege. The great temples and palaces have been reduced to rubble, and the once bustling markets are now silent and empty. But amid the destruction, the Romans find signs of the greatness that once was Carthage. The ruins of magnificent buildings still stand tall, and the echoes of laughter and commerce still linger in the air. They discover artifacts of the Carthaginian way of life, from beautiful works of art to intricately crafted weapons. These treasures remind the Romans of the rich history and culture of Carthage, a civilization that once rivaled Rome itself. Despite the destruction around them, the Romans cannot help but be awestruck by the legacy of Carthage. They realize that they have conquered one of the greatest empires in history, an empire that had stretched from Spain to Sicily and controlled the vast majority of the Mediterranean Sea. The Romans take the spoils of war back to their own cities, where they are displayed as trophies of the Roman victory. Statues and monuments are erected in their public squares, and paintings and mosaics depicting scenes of the siege of Carthage adorn the walls of their palaces. But as the years pass, the memory of Carthage fades from the minds of the Romans. They tell stories of their victory over the Carthaginians to their children, but the details become exaggerated, and the truth of Carthage's greatness is lost. The only ones who remember the truth about Carthage are the descendants of the Carthaginians themselves, who keep the memory of their homeland alive through stories and songs. But even they know that the great empire of Carthage will never rise again. As the sun sets over the ruins of Carthage, the great conqueror Hannibal Barca looks down from the heavens, his heart heavy with sadness. He watches as the Romans pillage his beloved city, taking with them the treasures that once made it great. But Hannibal knows that true greatness is not measured in gold or jewels, but in the courage, determination, and spirit of the people. He sees the descendants of the Carthaginians carrying on their traditions, keeping the memory of their homeland alive despite the tragic end of their empire, and he takes comfort in knowing that the spirit of Carthage will live on forever. History remembers the victors, but never forgets the fallen. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. We hope you enjoyed the tale of the mighty Carthaginians and the legendary Hannibal Barca. If you want to hear more stories of history's greatest empires, stay tuned for more updates. we've got plenty more tales to tell and adventures to go on. So sit back, relax, and get ready for more amazing journeys through time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an exciting episode. Thanks for watching.